Stop scrolling, this might be about you. If you've ever wondered whether you were loved or just needed, I want you to stay with me. If you've ever felt like your worth could be measured in meals cooked, laundry folded, children carried, schmecks given, moods managed, arguments avoided. If you've ever felt appreciated for what you could do, but not cherished for who you are, this is your story. Her name was Hagar. And before we get spiritual about her, let's be honest about her. She was trafficked by circumstance. And she was an enslaved Egyptian girl living in someone else's promise. She didn't choose that house. She didn't choose that life. She didn't choose the power structure. And one day, two powerful people decided her body could solve their disappointment. A man wanted an heir. A wife wanted control over the narrative, and Hagar became the solution. No vows, no protection, no agency. Just access. Just entitlement. Just the assumption that her body was available. Can you imagine that? And some of you know that feeling. The feeling of being chosen but not honored. The feeling of being touched but not treasured. The feeling of being needed but never deeply known. And when she conceived, when her body did exactly what they needed it to do, the atmosphere changed. Because you need to understand that systems that use women also resent women. The same house that required her womb could not tolerate her presence. She became inconvenient, threatening, and eventually mistreated enough that she ran, pregnant, into the desert. Sit with that image. A young, enslaved, pregnant woman walking into heat and emptiness because staying felt worse than dying. Some of you understand that choice. I know, I understand that choice. You know what it means to choose living when it means instability, and staying when it means shrinking. Choosing between survival and self-erasure. That's a very difficult choice to make. Look, now, let's stop pretending this is ancient history. This is the girlfriend told schmecks is proof of loyalty. The wife who performs intimacy while emotionally alone. The woman praised for being strong because nobody else shows up. The single mother who carries the groceries, the bills, the fare, the bedtime tears. Useful, but not safe. Needed, but not loved. Now, here is where scripture becomes dangerous, but in the best way. God does not go to Abraham first. God does not reinforce the hierarchy. He does not protect the reputation of the powerful. He goes into the desert for her. Do you understand the scandal of that? In a world where enslaved women were disposable, God searches for one. And when he finds her, he doesn't start with commands. He asks, Hagar, where have you come from and where are you going? This is not information gathering. This is dignity restored. The God of the universe asks an enslaved woman to tell her story, not because he doesn't know, but because she deserves to be heard. And I need to slow this down for the women who were never asked, for the woman whose pain was interrupted, for the woman told to stop being dramatic, for the woman told tears were inconvenient. God listens to her narrative, and when she does something extraordinary, she names him ElRoi, the God who sees me. Not sees my youthfulness, not sees my obedience, not sees my schmexual availability, not sees my endurance, sees me. And when you have lived invisible, being seen feels like breath returning to your lungs. Now, let me say this. Heaven was never aligned with Hagar's exploitation. The Bible records patriarchy. It does not sanctify abuse. The text tells the truth about broken systems, but God's movement inside the text reveals his heart. The system used her. God dignified her. The house reduced her. God addressed her by name. Religion ignored her. God pursued her. And some of you were taught that your silence was holy. But if silence in harm were holiness, why did God validate the runaway? If endurance of exploitation were righteousness, why did God meet her outside the system? You see, any theology that requires women to disappear so men can remain comfortable is not biblical strength. It is fair dressed in verses. Look, You are not rebellious for wanting dignity. You are not sinful for wanting safety. You are not ungodly for having boundaries. You are not dramatic for wanting mutual love. You are human and image bearing and deeply seen. And the strength people criticize in you, the independence, the resilience, the refusal to collapse, that strength was not born from arrogance. It was born from wilderness, from nights you cried quietly so your children couldn't hear, from learning how to fix things no one taught you how to fix, from swallowing fear so your household could feel stable, from praying exhausted prayers because nobody else was interceding for you. That was wilderness forged strength. And when a woman meets God in the desert, she does not come back fragile. She comes back aware. Awareness that she is seen. And once you know that you are seen by God, shame begins to lose its grip. Performance becomes optional. People pleasing loses its survival status. And love becomes something you no longer beg for. Now, to the woman who feels like a servant in her own marriage, ElRoi sees you. To the woman who left and was told she failed, God, ElRoi, sees you. To the woman who stayed and feels herself disappearing, ElRoi sees you. To the woman who doesn't know if she even believes anymore, he sees that too. The wilderness is not proof that God sided with your oppressor. It may be the evidence that he stepped outside the system to meet you personally. And maybe the most radical truth in all of this is not that Hagar survived. It is that she walked away knowing God was not the one who used her. If all you have tonight is breath, pray this. If you see me, meet me here. Because the God who met an exploited woman in the desert is not a patriarchal tyrant. He is ElRoi, the God who sees the invisible, the God who hears the silence, the God who notices the exhaustion, the God who sees you. God bless you.